Hi guys, my name is Meads. Welcome to my channel. This is going to be a review for the Ultra Act Thunder Gridman. I'm really excited for this particular figure, and in particular, it seems to be an add-on from the pictures since you already have the Gridman. You already released it, but also it could be that there is a Gridman inside already too. Actually, just looking outside the box, there seems to be one, but I'm not sure. It might be just a dummy, but we'll see. But yeah, I'm really happy for this one. Again, this is very nostalgic for me. I actually saw the American adaptation of this one, which is a Superhuman Samurai, which aired, way back. I grew up watching it, and it's a great show. And right now, I'm really happy to have the actual figure. All right, so why don't we check out the box, then continue with the review. Alright, so just looking at the box, again, you'll see the red silhouette, the bicep, the leg. So there might be a Gridman inside. I have not opened this yet, but just showing the box. Big letters, Thunder Gridman on the back. Things you can do. Real nice cool effect parts, which we'll see in a bit. And on the bottom, some stuff. And on top, there we go, that's the box. Alright, then why don't we start with pretty much the robot mode already, with the dummy Gridman inside. Again, not sure of a better term, but pretty much it's not a real Gridman figure, but it's kind of something. So in case you don't have the Ultra Act Gridman, you can still play around with this guy, or have him pose side by side with the other Gridman. But it's actually pretty good, the dummy one. You have pretty good arm articulation, and actually that's the only thing that's actually pretty good. For the legs, it's stationary as a block, which might be a good thing for standing, but it's kind of weird how, I wish you could move it out this way, but it's fixed. You do have this head here with a neck, which is a fairly good articulation, and this guy may need some panel lining on the head. It's just kind of bland, but nonetheless, the design, especially the torso, that gold, it's really nice, and the drill, it's movable here. And the shoulder armor on this mode has connected on the backpack here, and obviously you can what do you call this? Detach it. But you can still detach it here also. Let me just do it real quick. And I really hate this ball joint. I wish it was a straight peg, because every time I move it around, I'm just afraid it's gonna break. So you have this really nice shiny drill with a red tip. Not sure if we can remove that red tip, but it's there. And I think, I'm not too sure if there's any connections. Maybe you have to just look around. I think there might be a connection for the action base. So let me go find it. Alright, I take that back. Actually, you don't have to remove that because it's detachable on this top part right here. And you have that peg there. And there you go. And you have other stands. Yeah, I should just left it there. Now we're gonna go take a closer look on how the arms are connected. So pretty much you can remove this part here. You don't have to, but you can just pretty much detach it. And it's on a ball joint on the wrist, and pretty much it's over there. One thing I don't like about this one kind of flaps around. It's not really a good connection here. I wish it was better latching. Same thing goes for the other one. You don't really need it to close unless you're actually using Gridman, which has a what do you call it? What's that term? An arm guard, which might be on the way. You can only put it in a certain angle, which I will show in a bit. But to put it on, I think the best way to do this is to hold it by the elbow. I can get it on. Let me move that out of the way, and there it goes. if I can grab that. Ah, there goes another figure. Actually, I'm gonna show that in a bit, but oops. I think I'm gonna break this. Great. Alright, there we go. Alright, so why do I have this guy here? This is a Ultra Act Gene Bot over here, which is another great figure. With the fist or the arms, you have plenty. You have the open hand and the one for holding stuff. And it kind of has the same design as the, what do I call this? As Genebot, but you know, it's actually a different sculpt. So it's just a nice, interesting thing to point out. And if you're wondering, and I don't think it's part of the show that he's holding a sword, but you can put it on, and it is kind of wobbly, but he gets there. And we get another joint. It's not the joint that goes in, it's actually a different joint. Hope you understand what I'm trying to say. And I think this is my first time putting it on. It's not letting me. Ah, there we go. A little bit of pressure. Alright, and we have Thunder Gridman with a sword. Not too sure what they call that, a Gridman sword. There we go, not too bad. Alright, so the next part is pretty much transforming Gridman into the robot mod using the actual Gridman Ultra Act figure. As you can see, again, it's just kind of like a dummy, not much coloring except for the shoulder, and it's you know very solid, which is not too bad. It's fairly good. Let's see, what was I about to say? I forgot how the tank is shown on the show. I think it's probably something more than just this, but there is a connector here which kind of separates them. And you have the tank treads here, you have a movable cannon, and it's just pretty much the foot here. And very much Gridman stands on top of this. And I think it's better off if you just separate this, remove this red piece, and it's not really needed. So pretty much it stands like that, and this thing folds up. So I'm just gonna do that. But before you do that, you gotta remove these yellow pieces here, which is pretty much the connectors. It's the same as on the red, as you can see there. So we're just gonna remove that, as well as in the back. Just make sure you kind of press this down. Do the same. Actually, let me fix my camera. There we go. I just changed the brightness. I think the first time you're gonna be removing these guys, it's a little tough. Actually, I didn't even know that you can remove them till the direction tells you to. Okay, come on. There we go. Watch them out. And also, you gotta remove this part here. There's a notch right on the side. It's for the backpack. Later on, gotta remove this top part too. There's a lot of removing. And also, you're gonna behead him, but I'm gonna do that. Actually, might as well do that now. Be careful on this one. It's on a ball joint. And I really hate doing this. So once you remove that, that's that. And very careful on that one. Be very careful. So here we go. First thing, just attach it on the back here, back of the heel, or back of the foot. Arching. There we go. I think I'm forgetting something. Okay. Forgot a lot. So move the threads on top first. And sometimes you may have to push them up because they kind of lock in place like that. So make sure you push it up. Sorry, where was I? I got someone came up. So anyways, again, you may have to push this down or up to lock it in place. There we go. So when that's done, just again, peg hole right there. Just connect it. And actually, right there along the front of the, and it pretty much kind of by friction locks in place. Oh, I forgot to mention there is a ball joint here. You can take it out. You got that. It's not really a good ball joint, but it's there. Just pop it back in. If it pop, come on, pop. There we go. So that's that part. Do the same thing on the other side. Locks into place. There we go. And this is what I'm talking about. You're able to move out like so, and it's a little bit more stable. Alright, and let's move to the next part. I think this might be better to put this on now than later, but this is for the shoulder. You'll also get another pair for this guy here. Just a little different. But this is if you don't want to use that backpack connector for the drill armor pieces. And then you get this guy here. Might be better off just removing this backpack for now. This thing kind of opens up. It's kind of weird in the instruction. It says that this thing goes in front of the front skirt, which is, how does that kind of work? Yeah, so it goes on the back. Anyways, as long as you can get it to open like that. Fold this up. So you get this part here, which already removable for the backpack. Put it on and put it down. So this is kind of like the part where you have to remove the head because it doesn't fit there. Will be nice if it does, but nah. Alright then. Alright, I got distracted again. Anyways, where was I? Right. So once you put that on, just kind of wrap around the side skirt towards the back, and it's actually kind of interesting. This thing just connects, and remember the peg hole for the Gridman for action base, same thing, but this one kind of just locks it in place like so. And yeah, it's secure now. It holds it in place. So again, the front skirt moves individually as well as the side skirt, so it's gonna be flexible. Quite surprising. And we're gonna put this back on, which is gonna be a little. It's gonna be a little tough. Let me do it off camera. 1 second while I struggle on this thing. Come on. Come on. There we go. Finally. Oh, nope. Okay, I'm back. So, the side skirt, this thing does pop off from time to time, but it just latches back in place like that. Kind of wish that there's some more details to that. Wait, actually, did I have that on the other? I'm not sure if I swapped those two. Oh well. Let's see. We're almost there. So this part's here pretty much just there's a peg on top, and over there just goes on top here like so. Same thing on the other side. Alright, and the backpack. Actually the backpack, if I find that piece, there's a peg holder for action bases. It's kind of awkward, but you do have an extension right there, and there you go. And remember this guy right here? Well, I mean, you could just remove the head and put this one instead, or they give you this option of a hollow piece where you can just put on top. The problem with this one, it's stationary, so it's fixed and doesn't seem to have a head. Yeah, I mean, I would rather go with this guy. What else? Oh, the arms. For those who've seen my review of my Gridman, uh, I did mention that the Gridman's wrist is very, it's kind of small and fragile. Well, I did break mine, and I actually used magnets. So it just snaps in place and actually makes it easier to swap the arm or the hands, which is great at that time. Little did I know that I actually need that joint. So, I mean, what can I do now? I mean, it just So I have the problem now of how do I connect that? I mean, I could add a magnet there, but you know, there's still this guy, and I don't want to, ruin the ball joint, which is working fine for him. So I gotta find an alternative for this. Alright, so pretty much what I did is, let's see if I can grab it. Oh, magnets. Got a polycap. This is from Gundam Mall Kits, and pretty much just stick a magnet there from this polycap. It's one of those high-grade elbows or super deforms, and this peg rear kind of works out really well on that joint, and it stays there. Just close it and just let magnet do its magic, and it stays there. Well, aside from this, I might have to just super glue that flap there. But this one kind of gives it a little bit more extension on the elbow, which is fairly good for this pose. So I do have a 90-degree elbow bend now, although I'm not too sure. But well, what am I saying? I'm not too sure if that works out for if you don't have that added gap, because I added that with a polycap. But yeah, it works out for my intended purpose. And let me just do that to the other side. Alright, then I also swap out the head, but because again, it's better to have this one, which you have movable neck. It's kind of loose though, but nonetheless it works. Again, I guess I could have a rocket punch now. And also effect parts. This does come with a, I guess I will just call it Thunder Punch, which is kind of weird how this, I think it goes this way. Alright, so let's see if I can put it on. It's kind of weird angles. Does it go that way? It's supposed to be for the right fist, but sometimes just a weird angle. Yeah, I guess that kind of works out. All right. Now you have a Thunder Punch, which oops, goes the shoulder. I kind of want to put some magnets on the shoulder thing too. Magnets everywhere. Actually, this will make a good what do you call this? One of those super robot Chugokins. Yep. And actually, it might have been better off, kind of like the Megazord, but well, we have this. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe they'll have one later on. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Alright, I'm not too sure if that's a good pose for him, but I actually forgot to mention that this one here, the head, which just connects on top of the head of Gridman, this actually can move down or fold. I'm not too sure what the significance of that is, but that one over there cannot do that. Well, I tried. It seems to be fixed. So that's that. So this one you can, but not that one. But this is the one that you kind of want to use because of the neck. But yeah. My thoughts about this actual figure. I have mixed feelings, as you can see in the review. For one, if you have the original Gridman figure, the Ultra Act, it kind of works out really well if you haven't messed up the wrist yet. and even so, you gotta be really careful because it's a really weak wrist joint. On the other hand, if you're getting just the Thunder Gridman, I mean, this works out, but again, nice to have that knee or pretty much the leg articulation that you're gonna miss out. So this is great, but I would still go with a Gridman inside. So you might have to go with 2 Gridmans if you need to. Otherwise, I just have the problem with this flap, but that can be easily fixed. Actually, changing out the hand joint is easy. I don't have any problems with that. I really like the gimmick with the drill. This thing you can turn. It's a little bit more dynamic. You can take it out. Otherwise, the details, the legs and the torso, they did really well. As well as some of the shoulder, well, a little bit, but the head, it's really up to us to make it, you know, shine out a little bit more, because they kind of outline this part on the knee. I don't know if you guys can see that, but there's a little bit of outlining on the knee. Why not the head? The head is just a little bit too plain. Same thing with this. So a little bit of kind of like a wash, or just to highlight the edges will be helpful. Price wise, it is expensive to have this Thunder Gridman, and to be honest, compare this with the Ultraman Ultra Act Gene bot. This thing is kind of like has more die-cast metal, and it's a bit more dynamic. You're getting more out of this guy than trying to get this thing pull it out, because you need to have a Gridman plus the Thunder Gridman, which I don't know how much that can I ring up, maybe around $70-$80. This guy is only $50 or around there. So again, it's really up to you, and sometimes it's like myself, nostalgia kicks in and I want to have Gridman, or as I know it, the Superhuman Samurai, or Servo. There we go. Looking for the right name, Servo. So yeah, that's it for my review. Hope you find this very helpful. And again, it's not too bad of a figure, but you know, it has ups and downs. Alright, so I hope you guys liked this review. So until then, this is Meats. Thank you for watching.